Today we're going to interview Seb Grindley, a junior cyclist of England of 18 years old, who's running in Fensham Howes. Thanks for coming to our channel, Seb.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, then my partner already said the name. Okay, so your full name is Sebastian Grindley, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you were born in 2006.
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
So 18 years old. Now you are an adult, no? You can.
Yeah, officially an adult. Yeah, I can do. I don't know, a lot of things you can do at 18, can't you? So, especially in the UK, can drink whatever. But yeah, it's quite a cool age. Officially an adult now.
Yeah. Then happy birthday and enjoy. Then, where were you born?
I was born in Wigan, which is between Manchester and Liverpool. Probably about 30 minutes from the centre of each city. So quite an urban area. So riding takes a little bit of time to get out, into the nice roads. But I mean, yeah, it's not too bad.
And you still live there?
Well, we moved a little bit further down south to a place called Warrington, but still very close. All my family still comes from Wigan. But yeah, still only about 30 minutes away in the car.
Mm-hmm.
What is your measure?
Your height.
What was that? Sorry.
Sorry, your height.
Yeah, 188 centimeters. So 6'2" and a bit, I think. Almost 6'3".
So you are a big cyclist.
Yeah, that's pretty tall. Yeah, a little bit. It's a bit annoying actually. I'm pretty hot, I'm pretty tall, but I mean, if I was just that little bit taller, I could get to category 3 on the TT bike. So I mean, sort of wasted being this tall, but just not tall enough.
And your weight? Over 70 kilos?
Yeah, just over 70, 72.
So you may be more type of rider, maybe more a roller than a climber?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a bit of a puncher. Like I go well on like the shorter climbs. I did aerobica last week, and there was some like 10-minute climbs there. Yeah, that sort of suits me well. Like Liège as well. That sort of climbing, I like it a bit like rolling. But when it gets to the mountains, yeah, that's not really my forte. But I can climb quite well, to be fair, for my height and weight.
Okay. Then your favorite race, what will be?
Yeah, that's easy. It's Paris-Roubaix. Did it this year, and I watched it like in real life a couple of years ago, and I just remember the atmosphere being crazy. So I said to myself, I'd have to come back and actually race it. So to do it this year was really cool. But eventually to do it in the elite race is probably even better.
One question said, you are studying now or only making cycling?
What was that? Sorry.
Sorry, I say, are you studying now or only make cycling?
Yeah, I'm still in college. My exams are actually in a couple of weeks' time, and my last one's the end of June. So after that, then I can be a full-time cyclist. But I mean, yeah, still been in college up until now, to be honest. It's like a full-time job, really, trying to balance it with the cycling and training on top.
This is your last year in high school, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, I got my final exams, my final examinations in 3 weeks' time, and then after that, get them done, and then I've finished with it. I could go to university if I want, but I think I'll take a couple of years out and try and follow cycling. Really.
Well, to finish this test, what is your favorite cyclist?
I'd say I really like Julian Alaphilippe. I wouldn't say he's like doesn't really reflect who I am as a cyclist, but his riding style and the sort of panache he has on the bike is pretty good. Like when he was in his prime, watching him race was super exciting. that tour when he was in yellow most of the time, that was one of the most exciting tours I've ever watched. So, yeah, I've got to say Julian Alaphilippe.
Then also, I wanted to ask you about your favorite meal.
Favorite meal? Lasagna, I'd say. Pretty classic. We went to Italy like literally last week, and yeah, we've been out there. It's just pasta, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. But yeah, I actually quite like it. I haven't really got any complaints. Just pasta, probably like lasagna or something.
So you
And-
prefer Italian food than England?
I don't think anyone prefers English food, to be honest.
I would say the same, yeah. And then your favorite music, type of music?
Probably I do like a bit of rap, but I'd probably say techno. You heard of that? Especially
So-
before a race as well. It's good for getting you in the zone and stuff.
Interview. And then your favorite song, for example?
Oh yeah, you've caught me on the spot here. I'd say one of my favorite artists is probably Drake, but I can't really pick a favorite song for you right now.
Okay, it's good.
So now we're going to talk about your beginnings in cycling. Why do you become a cyclist?
Yeah, I became a cyclist through my dad. Really, he was a runner at the start. We actually went to the Olympics in Barcelona in 1992, I think it was. So my whole family's been quite sporty. My dad eventually injured in his running, took up cycling. I used to watch him go some races, and yeah, I just sort of got involved, and from quite a young age, really, like I started riding, or at least racing. I never really started training until quite recently, but yeah, I've been racing for quite a long time, just sort of going there, like with my dad, with my parents, and sort of doing it as a bit of a family.
So your dad was an Olympic athlete in Barcelona, you said?
Yeah, he did the 400-meter athletics.
Oh, that's nice. How did it went?
He was quite young. I think he was 19, so I think he let the pressure get to him in the final. But he got bronze in the relay, I think, the 400-meter relay. So it wasn't a bad Olympics for him.
That's huge, Olympic medal then, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. It's downstairs in the office, hung up on the wall. It's quite cool.
And then when you started cycling, you were doing road from the start, or you started with cyclocross?
Yeah, I started with cyclocross. I didn't just stick to cyclocross. My first race was a cyclocross event, but yeah, I did do road not that long after, and I've just sort of been doing them too ever since, to be honest. I couldn't really choose between the two disciplines. I do enjoy them a lot, but I think in the future it's probably road where I'd want to go.
And a little bit of mountain bike or track?
I had a mountain bike to do rides on. Never used to really race it competitively, but yeah, I did track up until quite recently actually. As my first year as a junior, I was still doing track, and then this is the first year I decided to step away from it and really focus on the road and cyclocross.
Okay, then jumping to the last seasons, what were your biggest wins as an under 17?
Yeah, as under 17, I had quite a good season actually. I didn't really race too much like internationally. I don't think as Brits we only sort of step out into like the UCI like international scene when we hit under 19. But as an under 17, I won quite a few national events like Youth Tour Scotland, 2 days of London, which is another stage race, and yeah, a few others. Second at national road champs as well, which was quite a good result before I think Youth Olympics in Slovakia. I got third in the TT, which was a nice result. So yeah, it was quite a successful year in under 17.
In that entry, the winner was Sampik, I think. Yeah.
Goshgurney, Patrick
Goshgurney.
won, and Pavel was second, and me third.
So good riders now also.
Yeah, I looked back at the results not long ago actually, and yeah, the guys who did well in that TT are really like going well at the moment. Youth Olympics. It's sort of like a little reflection on like some of the strongest guys that are, I'm racing at the moment as a junior. It's quite cool.
And nowadays, for you, what is the principal competitors, the principal riders of around the world? Which is the country with the best riders?
I think no one can sort of overlook Denmark. Obviously, last year at Worlds, I had quite a good ride myself at Glasgow Worlds, which was nice at home Worlds location as well. But I think I came 8th, and I remember thinking, God, I've done a really good ride here. And then I got told at the finish that every single guy on the podium was also a first year, and that's just yeah, it's quite intimidating really to race him this year. But I think definitely Albert Philipsen. He's crazy strong. I think he's already signed to go World Tour with Lidl next year. Yeah, he's a tank, and there's a lot of other guys, just like very similar level. The wins aren't really being dominated by one in particular person. There's quite like a lot of guys fighting for it, and it's a really strong age group, I think.
Well, Spain also has a very strong selection of riders. Hector Alvarez recently won the Heroica.
Yeah, Hector was really strong actually. I really like him. He's a nice guy. When I spoke to him there, he was just in all the right moves, and he's a super strong guy. I think even on the stage that got cancelled in the snow, I got in the break and he was there with me, and he was in the virtual yellow on the virtual GC lead when the stage got cancelled, which was unlucky for him. But I mean, he managed to win the next day as well. So yeah, he is super strong and a talented rider.
Well,
going back to your results last season, you talk about the World Championships. There you were the best first junior rider that wasn't in the breakaway.
Yeah.
You did second.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. The guys in the break, I saw it go, and my teammate was in it. I'm not sure whether I could have got in it anyway, because it was a super strong move. But I saw it go. My teammate was there, and me and my other teammate Thomas Pattinson, we were just sat in the chase group for the rest of the race, really, until 1 lap to go. We got shouted from our teammates on the side of the road that our man in the break, Matty Brennan, was really suffering. So only on the last lap I really got the chance to sort of fight for it. But I mean, I was really happy to make the most of it, and 8th is still a really nice result. But yeah, to be the first year out of the bunch is pretty good.
Some weeks ago, you won the Knocker Coers, classic race of Belgium. Did you expect to win
it? No, actually, not expected. My goal was to win 1 or 2 races this year. I didn't actually get a UCI win last year, so that was the goal for this season. But I'd actually been really ill leading up to it. I had a few problems with my knee, and I had food poisoning on camp in Spain only a couple of weeks before, and I actually dropped down to maybe like 68 kilos, and I was just really unwell. So I had a week off the bike, and I came back and I started feeling better and better, and then I came to Knocker, and it was a bit. I felt really strong all race. I was always up there, following all the moves and stuff. So I was pretty confident, and then I just timed my attack right, and I sort of knew I had it with like a K to go, even though I only attacked like 2K out. So it was a really big confidence booster to start the season, that's for sure.
So you prefer to do the classics than the races with stages, with like Heroica?
I prefer them both. I mean, I definitely like to see myself being a bit of a classics rider or a stage hunter, not the GC man, in the future. But I'd say probably prefer the classics. But don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy the stage racing as well.
Okay, and then talking about this season, you have done a lot of good results after that win. 12 in Guido Rijbrugge, 11 in Paris-Roubaix. Then I saw you a lot in the attack in Eroica. What are your expectations for the next races, maybe in E3 Saxo Classics this weekend?
Yeah, E3, it was a really big learning curve for me last year. Obviously, I didn't do too many races before it. So I just want to learn from my mistakes. I positioned myself quite badly there. It's really really tight, narrow roads at E3. And I remember just being at the back of the bunch quite a lot and never really was in contention for the race. So I just want to be up there at the front, maybe getting a few moves, and a podium would be nice for this weekend. And for the rest of the season, I mean, just try and pick up as many good results. Possibly a few more wins would be nice. And there are a few other big races that I really want to focus on.
Maybe you do now a little bit of reset after E3?
Yeah, I have a E3 weekend after that. There's Liège and Bob Jungels double weekend. And I think Tour of Flanders 2 weeks after that. So I got 4 weeks of competition. And then after that, I have a little bit of a break, maybe a week or two off in the middle of the season, and then I just build back up, focusing on like national champs, worlds, and a few other goals at the back end of the season.
Okay.
And going back to cyclocross, have you planned to make another season of cyclocross like the other years?
Yeah, it's not really decided yet. I mean, I guess it depends if the team I'm in next year allows me. But it also depends. I think I would really like to sort of get away and live abroad next year, especially during the winter, because in the winter here it's pretty grim with like the cold temperatures and stuff. So I'd like to get like a sort of winter of good training on the road bike in some nice temperatures. But I'd definitely like to do a little bit of cyclocross maybe towards the back end of the season. You know, the Christmas period cross, super fun racing. Maybe do it more for the fun and maybe a little bit of intensity training than being really serious about the cyclocross. I just want to go there and enjoy it, and you know, it's training at the same time, I guess.
And with all the seasons that you made of cyclocross, what is your favorite race of all the years?
I think it's got to be. Well, the first race that came to mind was Degum, but I've changed my answer. I think Hulst in the Netherlands. That race is incredible. Really, my favorite course I've ever done. Done it twice now. I've had all right results, so the course suits me. But yeah, it's just super fun. Even if you just ride it in the course practice, it's quite technical and almost scary with the big drops. And you pick up some really like nice speed in some areas, and it's just a really balanced, fun course to race. So I'd say Hulst.
By the way, I saw your British champion shirt in the background. You won it in 2022 first year junior, no?
Yeah, I've won it 3 times in the cyclocross, and yeah, once as a first year junior. I couldn't retain the title this year, second, which is unfortunate, but I did the best I could, and you know, first in my first year as a junior and second in my second year isn't terrible, so still happy with it, and it was really nice to wear it for a season as well.
So it's incredible. Do you imagine to win it this year?
As a first year under 23, it might be hard, but
can be difficult.
yeah, exactly. There's some super strong guys. I mean, Joe Blackmore, I know you guys probably know him. He's tearing up the road scene at the moment. I'm not sure whether he'll be doing cyclocross this year, but yeah, he has done it in previous years, and he is so strong. And I can name a few other riders that'd be up there, but we'd see. It'd be nice though.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that maybe Blackmore doesn't come back. I think he.
Yeah, I think He's all on the road now, isn't he? He's too good to
Hmm.
be like racing around a muddy field in winter.
Maybe there was a guy that won a lot in junior a couple years ago, Smith, I think. Maybe I don't know.
Nathan, yeah, he used to ride for my team. I think he doesn't ride anymore, fortunately.
Oh, yeah, no.
He got long COVID, so
Hmm.
he got COVID, and then he really suffered with it for quite a while, and I think he just lost the motivation at the end, which is a shame. But yeah,
Okay. By the way, talking about your future, you are one of the uh, very few now top prospects that doesn't have a professional team riding for them because you are just in a British team, not in the junior team of a pro team. So, what are
yeah.
your plans for the future? Maybe
Uh,
Trinity in Great Britain, or
yeah, I think Trinity's a feeder for my team, but I mean, yeah, it's a nice team. Don't get me wrong, but I've had a few offers and stuff, and I'm just sort of weighing up the options and seeing which ones uh, would suit me best, and still like talking with the teams and stuff. I don't want to rush into anything, and yeah, like the best contract or the best team, the best development is sort of what I'm looking at um, for next year. I've not signed anything yet, but I just really want to make sure that everything's okay for next year. I know like the under 23 category is really important to get right with the team. So yeah, just taking my time before you know getting everything sorted.
so then maybe a Devo team is going to be the future.
Yeah, possibly. It seems like the way they're going, more and more are popping up, and they've got really really good setups, and they provide a lot of support. You can go to all the biggest races, and yeah, it just seems like a good environment for you to like sort of develop, and then you move up into the world tour eventually.
And then if you go to a World Tour feeder team, maybe cyclocross won't be the main focus in the future, just the road. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It depends. Like some teams will let you do it, but the majority of them would like to focus on it. Obviously, it depends on what the team wants. I'm not fussed either way. Cyclocross is good. I do it for a bit of fun. But if they say no to the cyclocross, then I'm not gonna fight against it, and I'll happily just put some long miles on the road bike in the summer.
One question that I made of all the riders that came to my channel. What is the type of races that you have in England and the climatology that you have?
As in the just, I think the racing in the UK is very different to anything we have abroad. I think we race with open traffic, so or at least oncoming. So you have to stay on your side of the road, which is very different to anything you get abroad. Everything's always fully closed, which makes the racing quite interesting. We don't really have a convoy behind, so if you get dropped, you're sort of in the traffic as well, which is a bit crazy. There's nothing too hilly or anything in the UK either. You might get some climbs, maybe like 10. You can even get some 15-minute climbs, but they're very rare and you don't really race them very often. And yeah, they are really tough courses. I think the British roads, they're really slow and just really tough to get over. So yeah, I think it's hard racing, but it's very different to abroad.
Talking about the typical British parkers, I think maybe the main race you have is Tour of Wales,
Yeah.
and maybe it's the best for a climber. You are not a climber, but I saw you were 8th last year. So are you trying to win it maybe this year?
Yeah, coming back there and winning it'd be really nice next year. I think it's pretty good parkours. There's a few climbs in it. There's one called the Tumble in particular, which is about 12 minutes maybe, like all out, and another called the Black Mountain, which maybe 10, 12 again. So it's quite hilly, but I think it's sort of in the range where I can still climb it the best. Um, if it gets to 20 plus, maybe a little bit too long, but I think it sort of suits me quite well. And I did ride well quite like last year, so go back there and win it. It'd be nice.
Yeah, and it's possible to win it without paying a climber because, like a couple of months ago, we interviewed Lewis Askey and he won it in 2019.
Yeah, definitely. I think you look at the history of the race, and there is some really strong guys that won it. I think like even Geraint Thomas didn't win it back in the day. I think he got second, so that sort of shows it's a high caliber race. Yeah,
second behind Dan Martin.
That's right.
Okay, so yeah, then more questions, Roque?
No.
Yeah.
For me, all okay.
Oh yeah, maybe. So to finish it, to wrap it out, what's the type of rider you are? You have a comparison with a pro rider right now. What you want to develop into?
Maybe Askey.
Yeah, someone that's really good at the classics, but can climb quite well, get over some short climbs. Maybe like, I think my riding style is similar to Christophe Laporte. He can climb pretty well. He can get over the short bergs and stuff. But yeah, he does do all right in the classics, and I also don't mind like helping the team. I feel like I'm quite good at sort of like a team rider as well, not sort of fully solely focused on myself. So yeah, I'd say Christophe Laporte matches who I'd like to be when I'm a cyclist.
So maybe we will see you in the Visma in some years. Yeah, maybe in a few years, but maybe not just next year.
Laporte started as a sprinter, I think. You also have a good sprint, no? You win Nokere sprinting in
it wasn't too bad, my sprint, but it definitely could be worked on. For a big guy like me, I should be hitting some really, really big numbers, should be like flying in the sprint. But yeah, I prefer to get away a little bit earlier, and maybe from a reduced bunch, like 4 or 5 guys. But in the big bunch sprint, that needs to be improved on.
Okay.
So nothing more said. Thanks for this talk. I hope you're going to be a very good season. So good luck.
Very much.
The next interview, it could be nice if you learn Spanish.
No.
Oh, don't worry. Next year, once my exams are over, I'll be on it. If anything, I've learned Spanish for 5 years in school and stuff, but honestly, the education in the UK is nothing like abroad. I've learned it for 5 years, and I barely know anything. I can get
Are you going to Spain to live as a pro, maybe to Girona?
Yeah, possibly. I think we're looking at like somewhere in Spain next year with my girlfriend Kat. That'd be quite nice. Obviously, she's joining Movistar, so being in Spain would be ideal for her. And I wouldn't mind getting away from the UK for a winter or 2.
Okay, so well, that's it. Let's head to next year.
Yeah, next interview, it'll be fully in Spanish. Don't worry.
Well, I don't mind a little bit of English neither.
Well, yeah, your English is great.
Thank you. So well, good luck with these results this season, and I hope you win a lot.
Thank you very much. I hope so too.
Thanks, Seb.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Ciao.